The animal kingdom is full of surprises, with creatures that defy logic and challenge our understanding of nature in the most bizarre and fascinating ways, from octopuses with 3 hearts to jellyfish that can potentially live forever. Let's start with the octopus. These intelligent cephalopods have not 1, not 2, but 3 hearts, 2 of which pump blood to the gills while the third sends it to the rest of the body, and interestingly, when they swim, that third heart actually stops beating to conserve energy, which is probably why they prefer crawling over swimming. Imagine if your heart just decided to stop working every time you ran or swam. It sounds impossible, yet octopuses have evolved to function this way effortlessly, making them one of the most unique marine animals on the planet. But that's just the beginning of the weird and wonderful adaptations found in the animal kingdom. Speaking of unusual heart placement, did you know that a shrimp's heart is located in its head? Well, technically, a shrimp's head is a fusion of its head and thorax, so their heart is actually in their chest, but since that's also part of their head, it's safe to say that shrimps are truly thinking with their hearts. This might not seem like a big deal, but it's yet another example of how nature refuses to play by human anatomy rules. After all, why should hearts always be in the chest when they can be in the head instead? But if that wasn't weird enough, certain species of turtles can actually breathe through their butts, a process known as cloacal respiration, which allows them to stay underwater for extended periods, even surviving through harsh winters under frozen lakes without surfacing for air. Now that's a survival superpower. Think about how incredible this adaptation is. While most animals would suffocate without access to fresh air, these turtles simply absorb oxygen directly through their rear ends, meaning they can remain submerged for months at a time, completely unaffected by the freezing temperatures above. But if you think holding your breath is impressive, wait until you hear about sloths, which can hold their breath for a whopping 40 minutes, outlasting even dolphins, who need to surface every 10 to 15 minutes. Sloths achieve this by slowing their heart rate, which is just another way their famously slow metabolism works in their favor. It's almost ironic that one of the slowest moving mammals on Earth has an advantage over one of the fastest and most agile marine animals in terms of breath holding, proving that speed isn't everything when it comes to survival. But what if you could actually freeze solid and come back to life? That's exactly what would frogs do. These tiny amphibians survive brutal winters by freezing completely solid, their hearts stopping entirely, and yet, when temperatures rise, they simply thaw out and hop away as if nothing happened. Talk about real-life cryosleep. Scientists have studied this phenomenon for years, hoping to one day apply it to human medicine or space travel, as the ability to survive in a frozen state without damage could revolutionize everything from organ transplantation to deep space exploration. However, the most mind-blowing case of survival has to be the Turritopsis dohrnii jellyfish, which is considered biologically immortal because when faced with stress, injury, or aging, it reverts to its juvenile stage and starts life all over again, theoretically repeating this process indefinitely, making it the closest thing to immortality found in nature. Imagine if humans could do this, aging backward and becoming young again whenever we got old or sick. It sounds like science fiction, but for this jellyfish, it's just part of everyday life. Moving on to something equally bizarre yet oddly amusing, wombats, the adorable Australian marsupials, have cube-shaped poop, which might sound ridiculous but actually serves a practical purpose, since they use their droppings to mark territory. The cube shape prevents the poop from rolling away, a crucial advantage when living in the rugged terrain of Australia. Scientists have spent years trying to understand how wombats manage to produce such geometrically precise droppings, and the answer lies in their incredibly slow digestion process, which allows their intestines to shape the waste into perfect little cubes over time. And if you thought that was strange, let's talk about starfish, which somehow function without a brain or blood. Instead of a brain, they rely on a nerve network to control movement, and instead of blood, they pump seawater through their bodies, making them one of the simplest yet most effective creatures in the ocean. Despite lacking a central nervous system, starfish are still able to move, hunt, and even regenerate lost limbs, proving that complex intelligence isn't always necessary for survival. But simplicity isn't the name of the game for the next two animals, because they possess some of the most powerful abilities in the animal kingdom, starting with the pistol shrimp. a tiny but deadly predator that snaps its claw shut so fast it creates a shockwave strong enough to boil water and stun or even kill small fish instantly, making it one of the most powerful hunters of its size. To put that into perspective, the temperature created by this snap can reach nearly 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hotter than the surface of the sun. Yes, you read that right, a shrimp the size of your finger is capable of creating temperatures that rival those of a star. If that's not impressive enough, meet the mantis shrimp, which has one of the fastest and most powerful punches in the world. Its club-like appendages strike with the speed of a bullet, generating an underwater shockwave so strong it can break glass, and the impact is so forceful that the water around its claws actually boils from the sheer energy released, making it one of the most formidable creatures lurking beneath the ocean's surface. The mantis shrimp's eyes are also among the most advanced in the animal kingdom, capable of seeing an incredible range of colors, including ultraviolet light, which is completely invisible to the human eye, giving them a level of vision that seems almost superhuman. From animals that freeze themselves solid and come back to life to shrimp that pack a punch stronger than a bullet, the natural world is full of jaw-dropping surprises that challenge everything we thought we knew, proving that evolution is the ultimate innovator, crafting creatures with abilities that often surpass our wildest imaginations. Whether it's the immortality of a jellyfish, the freezing survival tactics of a frog, or the incredible strength of tiny marine creatures, nature continues to amaze us with its endless ingenuity, leaving us to wonder, if animals are capable of such extraordinary feats, what other secrets might the natural world still be hiding?